Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night. It's time for the Bama Standard, your favorite show for the best Bama content anywhere. Before we do anything at all, you know the drill. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're in the live chat, do your thing. Let's get rowdy tonight. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. Show us some love. I am your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, first and foremost, the living legend, the undisputed king of comedy, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the star of the show, Steve Brown.
Justin, you finally listened. You gave me a glamorous intro, and I appreciate you. Now I feel like I belong. Let's move on with the other guys, whoever they are. Yeah.
The other guys. Yes. Yeah. And part of the other guys is a senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama magazine. He is an international sex symbol, Stephen M. Smith.
What's up, guys?
You know, I'm a fan.
Hey, once again, y'all, the glasses come like that. If you buy them at the gift shop, that they come like that.
They do. And then just below him is a two-time national champion, two-time USFL champion, the baddest man to ever tote the rock, Bo Scarborough.
The living face of the USFL.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, we can't waste any more time. Stephen M. Smith, we got the baddest man to ever throw that rock in the building. I need you to introduce him as only you can.
Well, we got the prettiest deep ball thrower. Prettiest, I think sexy. Prettiest deep ball thrower of Alabama history in the Nick Saban era. My brother who proved everybody wrong in 2014, put that thing on his back, like the back of that lack, took that caddy all the way to the SEC championship game and the college football playoff. Should have won a national championship of Lane Kiffin, just would have ran the ball. But it wasn't my boy's fault because he got the team there from the get-go. And now my boy's coaching the next generation of athletes on his first call. Touchdown with the flea flicker. Don't mess with him. He hot, boy. You can't see him. He too hot, boy. Like 100 degrees hot, boy. We got Big Hero 6, Sims, baby. Blake Sims in here.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Hey,
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
What's up, Blake?
Hey, listen, before we go any farther, I'm gonna need Stephen, you to do my intros too, because I don't like to be outdone. I don't like to be outdone.
Hey, that was great, Steven. That was something else. Now you got me wondering,
Well, listen, guys, we got one more person to bring in. He's a 1999 All-SEC linebacker. And when Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. But don't ever expect him to be on time. Marvin Constant.
Oh, my God. Why y'all let – oh, my God. The show was so quiet and orderly.
It was. We were changing lives. We're about to take an offertory. Glad to have you here, Marvin.
Hey, I would say it's good to be here, but
wow, all I heard was blah blah blah. I'm ungrateful, blah blah blah. Checking my Instagram. Anyway, Blake, give us an update, Coach Sims. We talked a little bit about that in the intro. For the folks in the audience who don't know what's going on, man, get them caught up to the life of Coach Blake Sims. Tell us what's going on, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm in my first year coaching, and so our season going good, man. But we had our first home game, man. I don't know what everybody think my first call was, but it was the flea flicker. It was the flea flicker, and we scored it, and we ended up beating the team by 21. I called my coach, Michael Hughes. That's the name of our head coach, and the school I'm talking about is Mount Bethel Academy in Marietta. If you're looking for someone to play in Georgia, want to be coached by the best, want to throw the rock, come to Mount Bethel. I'm saying it just like that.
Is he using our show to recruit?
That's what it sounds like.
No, is that legal?
Hey, I ain't saying that. You know what I'm saying? we can talk about that on ESPN or something. Hey, like my boy Dion said, I ain't hard to find. You know,
We hear you, Prime.
you see that watch? You
I
know
see that.
It's time to come to Mount Bethel.
How much y'all paying? I can get
Man, our
Steve
kids
Brown.
are doing good. Man, our kids are doing good. We're having a heck of a season. We got a lot more kids coming to Mount Bethel that we're looking forward to improving the program. Coach Michael Dean. Michael Dean played for the Carolina Panthers back in the day. He was a wide receiver. He's coaching our middle school. So last year, our middle school was a first-year program. And 2 years. Yeah, last year was a first-year program. We lost every game. This year, we're 3-0. So that shows the improvement of the coaching and the technique that we're teaching. And
that's cool. That's cool. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I apply, the coaching staff pat ourselves on the back. So we're working hard on making everything happen.
Hey, Blake, listen. I want to help you out on something. Your team, if your team needs a defensive coordinator who's going to let the other team score a crap load of points, Marvin Constant is your guy. He's your guy. If you want to be a soft defensive coordinator who's going to just lay down every quarter and let the team score at least 49, you got to outscore the other team.
Sorry,
Marvin
sir.
Constant is your guy. You see up there, guaranteed 45 points a game. The other team's gonna have. So yeah, there's your man.
I don't coach for the Denver Broncos, sir. You have me mistaken.
Too soon.
That was so embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm not on that team, sir. No, not at all.
Well, listen. Every week during the football season, we have one of the best segments around. It allows Marvin to go on rants. Matter of fact, these rants are getting him about 20,000 per video. So let's keep that trend going. Yes. It's time, everybody, for Constance Chaos.
Hey, this one comes courtesy of the University of Notre Dame. You had a chance to shut up all these Ohio State fans who think that their team is so great. You were this close. How do you blow that game after you fight back tooth and nail to take the lead and give it away with 1 second left on the clock? Do you understand that Notre Dame has not beat Ohio State in forever? You could have finally gotten over the hump. But no, you don't have the guts to stop Ohio State, and you let them beat you. Listen, man, y'all don't understand how bad I want to see Ohio State fall. They are one of the most overrated programs in the country. And I'm so tired of people swinging off their sack because it's Ohio State. Notre Dame had their asses but couldn't finish the job. How do you get that close but can't pull it off?
I could tell you how they got that close and then pull it off. That Hail Mary on top of that building, she got home, she got down and went home. And
apparently she took a couple of players with her because they didn't have enough men on the field, not one but two downs.
Exactly. The last two plays of the game, you play with 10 people. That has to be like, who's the coach? Okay, somebody has to be in the box and say, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, call timeout with two people short. You let it happen 2 plays in a row, and then they run the ball right up your ass to where your defensive end is missing.
Hold on, Marvin. Hold on, Marvin. You was the middle linebacker at Alabama. You called the plays, and I can remember several games I watched. You wasn't on the field.
Listen, man, if I were on that field and I clearly see that I'm missing a defensive end because you know it's a 3, 4, or 5 man front. You know what's supposed to be in front of you. I'm gonna call timeout. I'm just not gonna let us get the ball ran down our throat. Like, where is the accountability? I expected better from Notre Dame, man, especially at home. You had them on the ropes, but you couldn't finish the job. Total disappointment. And you know what burns me up the most about it? Ohio State wants to be Alabama so bad. So bad.
Marvin,
oh, man.
Hey, Justin, can I ask Marvin a question?
You can, because I got one to follow up. Go ahead.
You lost money on that game, didn't you, Marvin?
Oh, that was my question.
So Marvin took it personal.
That's exactly what it was.
No, I actually didn't have money on this game. But I didn't bet on this game because I knew it was going to be a close game in South Bend. I know that Ohio State is not the team that people think they are. So I figured that if Notre Dame were ever going to get over the hump, this would be the year when they would finally take that step. And unfortunately, they were this close. But again, you can't play the last two plays of the game with 10 on 11. Odds are not in your favor. And the fact that nobody had enough sense to even count to call timeout to let it happen 2 plays in a row.
They should have had me in the box with the glasses on. I would have caught that.
Yeah, it would look like 22 people if you was looking.
Hey, we gotta get a super chat going real quick. Big Bill from New York, $5 as Tim Smith finally turning the corner. I hope so. This was clearly his best game, and we need the defensive line to step up. RTR. And we'll definitely get to the defensive side of the ball. We're going to start things out on the offensive side of the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Milroe's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. It's evident that he is starting to shine. Matter of fact, he had a coming-of-age moment in this past game. He was nearly decapitated, but in the process tosses up this pretty pass and caught in the end zone by Jalen Hale. I'm going to start this thing off with Steve Brown, then we'll go down to Blake, Bo, Steven, and Marvin. Steve, what ways do you see him coming into his own as Alabama's quarterback, and how's that impacting the Crimson Tide's performance?
Well, quickly, I will say this. It is the more reps he gets, the better he's going to become. The better he's going to be able to recognize defenses, because I think the only problem he has right now is the offensive line and him kind of doing little slip-ups, recognizing defense. But again, he's new, and I think his athleticism covers a lot of that. But once he get all that together, he is going to be one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. And honestly, I see right now Alabama is trending there because they're starting to become a dangerous team. In other words, they're gelling, and they're gelling at the right time. So I think what we are all witnessing is some kids starting to grow up in front of all of us. They're doing it slower than usual, but they're doing it, and it's a sight to see. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, and I hope they get better and better each week, which it looks like is going to happen.
We got a super chat to get to. Dr. Dan, $1.99. My favorite game, Blake Sims Tour, A&M up 59-0, baby. Roll Tide.
Crazy.
Shout out to you, Blake. But yeah, Blake, what do you see from this young man? I know before the season started, you had an opportunity to talk to him at the practice facility. If you can kind of go into detail about how that went, and then what you're seeing from this young man as far as his evolution goes.
I think his whole process, I think the going from the first game and all the way to now, I think that somebody done got to him and tell him to calm down, play his type of game. I didn't like how the first game we played Middle Tennessee, he was attacked. And when he, sometimes you'll hear coaches say, go to that first read, your second read, and your third read is your feet. And I think that's what he was on in Middle Tennessee. When we got to Texas, I think that, this is just my decision just by watching. I think he wanted to prove a lot of people. But like I told somebody, what I like about Jalen, he knew his strength. His strength was running. And so Jalen, be you, bro. Buy into your team and play to the strength that you can. And I think what Coach Saban did we played in Tampa. It was just a humbling experience, letting everybody know, hey, I don't care what your position is. I need somebody that's going to put everybody in the right positions to make us win every game. And I think Jalen woke up and was like, hey, I can lose this, and I really want this. I want to show the team that I'm capable of doing. Some of the touchdowns that he threw, I think it showed improvement from the Texas game to Ole Miss. The post to where he got hurt. I feel like he could have got a ball out earlier, but he's seen it, though. And I'm good with that because that's building improvement. And the way he got up off that injury, I think he brought his team in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that shows why Coach Saban feels he's the best quarterback for this team this year. And And the way that I see him growing, I see him keep going the same way. Whatever you're doing, big dog, keep going, man. Keep getting them guys in the film room. Keep having them guys buy in and buying around you as a quarterback and playing at the University of Alabama. I know for sure when you walk in, you look at them 10 guys in the eyes when you walk in that huddle or before you enter that field, if you can feel their presence behind you. And when you got that, it's like you can't lose. You just can't lose. And every team is different, man. Every team is different, and you got your own story. And I'm just happy to see and happy I got a front row seat to see how this story ends.
I love that. I love that. Bo, let's hear your thoughts on what you're seeing for this young man, and to put perspective on it, tell him how big it was for him to take that hit and still get that touchdown pass completed. As far as toughness, what does that say for your team or to the team, and how much juice does that give you guys?
It brings a lot of juice to the offense, especially when your quarterback get up on the ground like that. Like Blake said, it brings a lot of energy to the offense, and it's let them know what type of player that you are. Like, it's let them know that you can take anything on the chin and still be able to get up. And those kind of quarterbacks that we were built off of. And from a team perspective, it looked like these guys starting to gel together, and it's like it's like they took a step back and were like, wait a second, this ain't Alabama football. And it seemed like they starting to trust each other with their assignment and things like that. But I'm still kind of upset about the running back pass protection. But from a team standpoint, it looked like these guys starting to gel together, starting to trust each other, starting to hang out and talk more with each other. That's what it looked like from watching. It looked like they starting to trust each other.
Yeah,
that's huge. Hey, Dr. Dan, 499 super chat. We need more of those pistol jet sweeps. Jalen did a lot better in pistol formations. And also, King, we get back to two more formations. Running backs are hungry. I like the pistol formation, just not the goal line. That's just me. Before we get to Stephen M. Smith, Steve, I know you're hot about this. Go ahead. Let it fly.
I think when he went into the gun, I lost my mind. I think America lost their minds, and they were like, Tommy Reese, what are you thinking? And then Nick Saban, he nicely harped on what everybody else was thinking. We shouldn't have never been in that. And now we can't get 1 yard on them. You don't trust the offensive line for 1 yard. And of course, you got a running quarterback. So that should have been another score. We clearly took points off the board with that one. But I think behind the scenes, I think Nick Saban kicked him in the ass. I believe that. I really believe that.
Stephen and Smith, you've heard what these guys have said, and we just mentioned play calling. As far as Tommy Reese and his play calling has been a topic of discussion, week after week. Do you think that we finally found that magic formula for calling plays to suit Milroe's abilities? If so, what's changed in your eyes?
I think in the second half, Tommy Reese started to find himself as a play caller and understanding, I got Jalen Milroe. What works for you? Now, yes, at that goal line, I lost my mind too, because I'm like, you run the ball, then you get under center, your quarterback sneak it. But I thought aside from that, you saw more of Tommy Reese roll Milroe out. You saw a lot more of Tommy Reese with the design, bootlegs, and throw the ball out, get the ball out quick. You saw a lot of, even the timing routes worked. I think the one thing I want to see more from Reese is having the tight ends involved more. We saw C.J. Dupree make that one. Like, oh, okay. We saw him get Robbie Oots involved one time. We're like, okay. We saw him get Amari Niblack involved one time. But I feel like the tight end position needs more love. You got to get them the ball more. So I feel like that's a staple that Tommy Reese has got to implement more of. But I thought the second half, him growing with Milroe, I like that. But what I liked more was Milroe giving his guys a chance to make plays. He hung in that pocket and he gave his guys a chance to make plays for the football, including one Jermaine Burton who caught a deep ball there on the post route. So the growth of Milroe and then the growth of Tommy Reese understanding, I'm not at Notre Dame, I'm at Alabama. Let me start to get this thing right. I kind of like the growth of both of them right now.
Real quick before Marvin gives his thoughts, Coach Smoot 499 hot take. Milroe is Sims 2.0 with more wide receiver options. If Milroe had Sims O-line, he'd be a Heisman candidate. Blake, how you feel about that comment?
I feel like he is. I feel like he will be a potential Heisman candidate. When it says now the part of him being Sims 2.0, I plead the fifth.
Oh,
Hey, Blake, I will say this though. This is what I need you to make that call to him. I don't care if it's
And
collect.
I did have wide receivers now.
Okay,
you
I
did.
don't
You
care if
had
it's
them
collect,
guys.
but this is something you got to teach him now. This is a Blake Sims move that nobody picked up on but me, and I lost my mind. When you're running the ball, they think that you're scrambling and you're going out of bounds, and you fake like you're going out of bounds. You take 20 more yards downfield. That is I lost my mind. I tried that with my kids. I got the hell hit out of me, but I tried. Dude, you gotta tell Milroe about that move, man. That is because when you're going out of bounds, some of the defensive players, especially our soft ones up to date, they just check out because they think you're going out of bounds. But what you do, you go to the sidelines, you slow up like you're going out of bounds, and you take on off downfield the other way, and that is remarkable. So yeah,
I learned that. I learned from Vic, man.
yeah, that's all. That's awesome.
When I was younger, I kicked it with him. He used to tell me that you got to take advantage of all the rules that quarterbacks have. You pretty much can't get touched. You the pretty boy. So I used to just run on that line until somebody blow on me, and I'm out of bounds.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta. I don't know, it's art to it, baby.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought I was a pretty boy till them kids hit me. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, we got a super chat. Adam Lampanello, $25. I think Saban is changing his coaching style because the players lack confidence and experience, so he is being more patient and believing they will improve. I think it's a great strategy. Do you agree?
I agree.
I think it is because Saban knows he's dealing with a different athlete. He gets that. He understands that. There's still some parts of Saban that want to be hard on these kids too, though. But I think he now picks and chooses when to do that. I think he picks and chooses when do I be hard on these guys, and then when do I kind of take a step back and try something different. So he's going through the whole pick and choose process.
Jamie Wilhelm, $4.99. Roll Tide. Hope to see you guys again at the Bryant Museum. All right, Marvin Constant has been quiet for way too long. Brother, you finish up this topic. What are your thoughts on what you've seen from Jalen Milroe, his development, as well as his confidence?
I'm just happy that Tommy Reese has enough sense not to play with 10 players. So, coming from Notre Dame,
You lost that bet.
Hey, coming from Notre Dame, you never know what to expect from some of these people, man. But, the one thing that I can say about Jalen's performance that goes untalked about is the situation that he was put in. What I mean is in terms of defensive play, going to the half 7-6, that meant he didn't have to do a lot. There was not a lot of pressure. It's different when you go to that half 7-6 opposed to going to the half 21-6, because at 21-6, then you got to do a lot more second half. You have to pass a lot more. You have to run plays a lot faster. It changes everything at that point. So I'm just happy to see the defense step up to give Jalen the opportunity not to have to do too much, but to work on his craft and improve on a day-to-day. Now, that line, I still feel like they need to drop a few pounds because they're struggling with those protections when they're getting those TE stunts and a bunch of blitzes. They're having a hard time passing these people off. And a lot of that starts with their footwork. And they need to drop about 15, 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Where the belly's at, man? Come on. It was always one offensive lineman that show that belly.
Yeah, he usually played guard. So, but everybody on the line can't be 350 pounds, man.
Man, show that belly.
But when a team comes out with when a team comes out with their speed package, those guys are going to struggle.
So Marvin, I'm kind of disappointed in you right now because I'm not gonna lie. I thought you was gonna come on here and lose your mind about the way the defense played because you a defensive guy, and I thought you was gonna lose your mind. I thought you was like, "What's going on, Marvin? Is somebody beating on you?"
No, nobody's beating on me. But I will say this, though. They only gave up 10 points against a good Ole Miss offense that has been very high-powered. So, yes, there were some busted coverages along the way, some missed tackles, some missed assignments. But overall, they played a good enough game as a stepping stone to get to where they need to be. That's the most important part. Are you making progress? So they made progress between that game from our previous game and this game. So again, they did a great job, but we still have a ways to go.
Marvin. Your biggest complaint was they wouldn't get to the quarterback. They were.
Just wait. We'll get to that. We're gonna get to that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, we got another super chat to get to. JD Long 499 before we end the conversation and move to the defense. Blake, if you would, man, can you talk about that moment where you had your moment with Jake Coger? It was at the A&M game where he ran over some folks and you guys looked around and said, yeah, that's our quarterback. For Jalen, it was the Ole Miss game when he got decapitated, but still managed to get that touchdown, got off the ground like it was nothing. Man, can you talk about that moment where you realized you had arrived?
I think my moment when I arrived was that throw to Drake. I feel like that was the best. That was the best ever in the history of coming out in the stadium as a quarterback. When you drop that ball in that pocket the way I did,
that was nice.
That was beautiful. I feel like that was my time of, without showing it like physical and letting my game speak. I feel like that was the time where I let everybody know, like, hey, Blake Sims here, he ain't going nowhere.
And you did.
I went out in Atlanta, in my hometown. I think I went 26 for 27. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, that's wonderful. That was a great game.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I did right. So the way that I came out, I feel like I did it the right way. But at the same time, like I said, when you go in that huddle, you look at them 10 guys, you know they behind you, that's going to give you that extra confidence to be on your game too. When you look at your brother, and they like, come on, get it together. You got to step over the side, look in that mirror, be like, all right, come on.
I get what you're saying because I was number 12. I wasn't supposed to be out there, but I went out there anyway.
And we appreciate your courage, Steve.
For sure.
It is time to talk about the defense. We already started getting to it, but we held back a little bit, and I'm going to let Marvin Constant lead us off on that. Marvin is the standard back on defense. The secondary is on fire. You could argue who had a better game. It could have been Malachi Moore, could have been Terrion Arnold, could have been Caleb Downs. Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell did their thing. Matter of fact, when Deontay Lawson went down, it feels like the defense turned up. Your boy that you called out at the beginning of the season, Kendrick Blackshire, looks like he's arrived. He is doing his thing. Jihaad Campbell is decapitating quarterbacks. Marvin, we're going to start this off with you. Then we're going to go to Blake, then Bo, Stephen M. Smith, and then when Steve Brown comes back into the room, we'll let him finish it up. Marvin, how you feeling? Is the standard back?
First and foremost, I got to say this. I'm so happy that I do not have to eat crow because we did not lose to Pete. Had we lost to Pete, I'd have been pissed. But we didn't lose to Pete, so I'm good with that. But I will say this. I was happy to see the physicality, the speed, the tempo that they played with. Even when they made mistakes, they made them fast. I don't care if you make mistakes as long as you're making them fast and you're giving effort. The problem is when they're just standing around, that's what I have issues with. Don't look lost. Don't look confused. If you're going to make a mistake, make it full speed. The physicality, Dallas Turner, Dallas Turner, Malachi Moore, Lawson. Thank you for finally arriving, man. You were late to get on the bus, but you finally got on the damn bus. Better late than never, man. This is the pivotal part of the season because we're in that SEC stretch now. You're about to separate the men from the boys over this next month. So whatever they did Saturday, if they're not prepared to take that next step, they need to stay their ass at home because this ain't the time to not show up and show out. This is the most pivotal part of the season. This is what's gonna make or break this team.
Blake, your thoughts, man. You saw how these linebackers played. Of course, you went against Ruben and Reggie in practice. Did you see any of that in these guys Saturday?
I don't think I'll never see another one of them for sure. Hey, happy birthday to my boy Reggie, man. 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Reggie Ragland.
Yeah, he online naked right now. Go check him out.
But no, man, I want
you looking is a problem, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve like looking at naked men.
All right, so as a standard back, Blake, before we go down a rabbit hole we don't need to be in, and the FCC calls us.
No, man. I think Malachi Moore, I think he done stepped up for sure and started speaking. He for sure speaking. I think them guys are listening to him. So I think they making their way. They making their way, man. I think they trying to find their identity. I think they almost there. They almost there. They knocking. I think like Marvin said, they going this week and show what they trying to do and show the steps that they making and keep stacking the blocks, man.
Yeah, because to your point, the biggest thing that I need them to understand, it's not a time to regress. This is when you make if you better be doing this, you better get ready to peak, because if you're taking steps backwards, this is not the stretch you want to do that in.
No, that's for sure. Like Courtney Upshaw, I seen a video. Courtney Upshaw said, "Don't tell us you pissed. We know you is. Go show it.
Show it.
Go show it. You know what I'm saying? Go put it in on the weight room. Go put it on the field. You feel me? It's just that brotherhood coming together. You can see it.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, brotherhood coming together. And then what I know about every great team, that special team coach. So seeing the turnover on special team, that's showing that we looking at the small thing. We're looking at the details.
Jetty Long, $4.99 super chat. Marvin, did you see Pete Golding showing Bama players love after the game? It seems like he wished he was still at Bama. Pete seemed like a cool guy.
Pete wasn't showing them love. He was telling them to make sure don't y'all mess with my women on the strip. Listen, Pete wasn't showing no love. Pete was trying to protect his flock in Tuscaloosa.
Whoa! What's going on?
Damn. You heard it here, folks. Bo.
Oh, wait a minute.
After that bomb dropped.
Is this the
what are your thoughts on the defense?
1-1 Jefferson, top boy shooter.
People tell, hey, that blonde, you better leave her alone. That's mine.
Bo, you're up. You got to follow that. What you feeling on the defense, man? We saw live intensity. We didn't see them back down. They were talking to each other. There's energy on that sideline. How'd you feel about it?
Like I said before, man, it looked like they starting to trust each other, and they starting to gel together. Like Marvin said, it's that time of the season, you know what I'm saying, where it's time for improvement. And I'm still up on the running backs, man. We have to show more improvements in the running back. But on the defensive side, these guys play hard. They play like they wanted to be out there. They play like they trying to get to the NFL. They want some film, and that's what it's about. It's about winning in each and every way.
Not only is it about showing improvement, this is the time of the season. If your ass ain't excited, you in the wrong damn place. Listen, man. Y'all know just like I know, Bo and Blake. When you get your ass on that bus on Fridays, when you in that SEC stretch, you know this grown man football. And you look around and you tell them, hey, if you ain't ready for this, stay your ass at home. Listen, this is the
great
time
SEC, this great SEC team.
This is the time of the year I love the most. They're playing these little weak schools from mom and pop shop. Get to the SEC play, the big boys, the big dogs. This is where you separate the men from the boys. That's also why I said I think Florida's going to beat Georgia, because people don't understand when you get in that tough SEC stretch, if your ass ain't ready.
Well, guys, I had to ding him because we have a guest waiting, so we need to go ahead and finish this segment up. Stephen M. Smith, your thoughts? What are you seeing? How excited are you that Kendrick Blackshire is wrecking shop? And then we'll go to Steve Brown to finish it up, and we'll bring our guest on.
Excited for Kendrick Blackshire. It's about time. We've been waiting on him. He's showing up. But what I was happy about, defensive line got pressure. About time. Tim Keenan, 3 quarterback hurries. Tim Smith, we've been waiting on you, Tim Smith. 1.5 sacks, 1.5 tackles for loss. It looked like the defensive line finally took the field and hit the pocket to help Dallas Turner and others get the Jackson Dart. So thank goodness for the defensive line.
Because without them, Dallas cannot do what Dallas does.
And Marvin's happy for Dallas right now. Matter of fact, I
Yeah.
believe he's leading the SEC in sacks now. Is that right, Stephen M. Smith?
That is correct. And right
And-
behind him is Chris Braswell.
Who leads
at
the SEC in
beginning
pressures?
At the beginning of the season, who did I say would be the SEC Defensive Player of the Year?
Dallas
Dallas
Turner.
Turner.
Steve Brown, bring us home on this subject.
Okay, so listen, let me say this, man. I was so happy that the defense stepped up. I was, it seems like to me, well, the defense was playing pretty good anyway, but after me, it seems like the whole team came out a different Bama team. After halftime, the whole team. But I was very happy to see the defense step up and do what they did. Excited about the defensive line finally getting pressure. And I will say this, and I'm on the bandwagon, and nobody can dispute this. I still say, Terrion Arnold is better than Kool-Aid. I don't care what you say. He's showing it. He's doing his thing, and they're coming after him, and he's proving everybody wrong. I think we got something in that guy. Yeah, Kool-Aid got the height, but I think this Terrion Arnold is a complete baller. Me and Bo, we agreed, don't we, Bo?
Right. Exactly.
And just let
James
you know,
Knox,
folks,
you're right. They got to take the next step.
just
Shut
let
up,
you know,
Marvin.
folks in the audience, Steve Brown is actually the NIL provider for Terrion Arnold. That has nothing to do with his assessment, though.
Next game you have on the pass, Stacey Adams. Go ahead.
Exactly. Stephen M. Smith, I need you to bring your skills to the table here because we have one of the reasons why we're winning the field position battle at Alabama currently. If you would, bring on our next guest, sir.
I'm so proud of this guy right here, all the way from Australia. This man averaging over 40 yards apart. I mean, he's flipping the field. My man is flipping the field out there. He putting the punt ball in the Solo Cup, dropping it inside the 10-yard line. Got better hair than what I got right now. We got my man who went to Outback Steakhouse, got him a mean steak. We got James Burn up in here, baby.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Welcome in, sir. Glad to have you on with us.
Glad to be here.
Everybody
Steven.
has better hair than you, Steven.
But James, we appreciate you coming in right after practice too. We appreciate the dedication you have to us, but we're excited to see what you're doing this year for us. You know, we're still trying to find our way offensively. So field position has been huge for us, and your improvement from last year has been amazing. 42 yards per punt, which isn't bad at all, but now it's up to 48 yards per punt. That's putting people in places they don't want to be, man. If you would, to lead us off, talk to us about what you did in the offseason that led to this improvement, and how personal do you take, owning that field?
Well, firstly, in the off season, I just really wanted to strengthen my body up, especially my lower body. So obviously, that's going to improve my kicking with distance, hang time, all the needs you need for a punter. But then just mainly like mobility, flexibility in my legs, my hips. That was a big thing that I tried to work on as well. It's like I knew I had the skills to be able to pump balls. I've been doing that for so many years of my life back home in Australia, and transitioning to American football, I know I can kick a football far and high. It's a matter of just being able to get that consistency and being able to figure out what is needed for that. And then so I spent a lot of time in the weight room doing that. And then when I would go on the field, I wasn't just going out there with no purpose of kicking the ball and trying to see how far it would go. I was focusing more on my drop, figuring out how my drop would have to be on, like how high I need to be and where I need to put it out in front of me to get the perfect contact off my foot, and just trying to really figure out how to perfect my craft and make my job a lot easier. So the defense and the offense didn't have to worry about me and worry about their job. So all I had to do was just go on the field, stop the ball, and we'll get the ball back on offense and go score.
I tell you this, a lot of people don't understand the importance of having a great punter. When I was at school, played middle linebacker, we had Daniel Pope. When you have a punter that can hit that coffin corner and he can flip that field position, because it changes the plays that offense can call on first down when it's first down and 10 from the 2 or the 3, opposed to first and 10 from the 20. So having that ability to put that ball in that coffin corner, you are doing the defense so much justice. So kudos to you, man. A lot of people don't understand how pivotal that is and how difficult it is to do.
Hey man, you know what? I want to say this to you, man. Steve Brown here, by the way. I'm the star of the show. Listen, I'm a huge fan of what you're doing, okay? And I'm a technical guy, all right? And but can I give you some advice? Just a little bit, if you don't mind. Sure,
Yes, sir.
okay? Let me go for it. Listen, your numbers have gone up, all right? And they can go up even higher if you just try out my Stacey Adams that.
Man, go pull a hamstring trying to punt it. No,
Yeah, these are
I'm
some
gonna stick to
classic
my
Stacey
TM
Adams
goals.
stuff. You can just wear this shoe. What size shoe you wear?
13.
He don't have those size.
Don't worry about it.
he got baby feet. He got them raccoon feet. They're size 7. Listen,
Don't worry about it.
He don't understand. He's not built like us, James. His shoes is not teenagers. They're toddlers.
But let's open the floor up. Steve Brown, I know you've been a fan of his, like you said, throughout the season because he has made monumental moves to help our defense out. What questions you have for him? Then we'll turn over to Blake, then Bo, Stephen M. Smith, Marvin. We'll close it out.
I really don't have any questions, man. I'm just amazed at your growth and what you're doing for the team, man. And it's helping us out and it's showing. So I appreciate you, man. And we got to hook up, man. You take me to Australia because I'm sure the ladies will love me over there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'll hook you up down there. We can get something going.
He'll be
There it is.
kangaroo bait.
Shut up, Marvin.
We got a super chat from Adam Lapanello. James, you're an awesome kicker, but how did you deal with that 16-hour flight to the States? I would go crazy.
It ain't too bad. Well, my first flight over here when I came in July of 2021, I was just so excited to get over here. Like I've been working for about 2 years punting, trying to get a scholarship to a school over here. So that whole flight, I was just itching, ready to get off the plane and see the campus. Never seen the campus before. But now when I go home, I'm like, damn, I really don't want to have to sit in this. I got no leg room. I have 16 hours and people next to me wanting to use both of the armrests and stuff. I'm like, just get me off this plane.
So no mile high action like we do on Spirit Airlines? None of that?
No, sir. I'm trying to get as much rest as I can.
Yeah, I get it all the time. Yeah.
Blake, what you got for this young man?
Man, I want to say I appreciate you too, man. As a quarterback, I know sometimes we make bad decisions, but knowing that we have a punter to get us out of any situation. I had J.K. Scott, so if it was third down and we was in the red zone or close to the goal line, I was willing to take that shot every once in a while because I know J.K. could flip the field. So I appreciate you, and I respect Australia for sure. I almost went out there and played. I can't pronounce the city good, but Wallawanga or something like that, or Wollongong or something like that. I don't know, but I almost went out.
We have a lot of weird sounding name cities.
Okay, yeah, I almost went out there and played, but I appreciate everything you're doing for the university, man, and repping it the right way.
Thank you.
Bo, what you got for him?
Yeah, man. I know you got a critical job, man. So I appreciate you, man, for everything that you have done for the team and the position that you're playing. And you playing your role very well. So I just say keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep making us happy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I always
Smith.
thought, James, one of the coolest things is just the relationship between the snapper, the holder, and the kicker. So how did you, Nealon, and Will kind of get that relationship to where Nealon snapping it right, you know how to hold it for Will, and Riker just goes out there, sniper foot, puts it through every time. How long did it take that relationship to craft together?
Not long at all, really. So I didn't hold in games my freshman year, but I was with them. As you guys know, you're with each other hours a day. So the specialists are always together. We're doing meetings on the field together. And yeah, we'll just go out, and obviously Paul Tyson, who was holding my freshman year, wasn't with the specialists when we're warming up and stuff. So I was holding for Will. So I was slowly figuring out how he liked it, how he liked to lean, where he wanted it on on the floor and stuff. So it didn't take too long, and we're all really good friends. We're very close. We hang out a lot outside of football as well. So it just transitions very easily when you're all actually really good friends outside of football.
So James, what pointers do you have for the people who are listening, especially my mama, because we do football during family reunion, and Yeah.
What was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, what pointers would you give young kickers? You know, because our family, we do a family reunion football game against each other, and my mom is the punter, and we just want to.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of?
Just consistency.
Don't laugh at my mama.
Doing the same thing every day, like having a purpose with it. Like I do hundreds of ball drops every single day, just trying to get the ball drop the exact same every time in the exact same location, so my leg can just come through at the exact same speed, at the exact same way every time. Like
James, I didn't see you just laughing at my mama. No, did I? I didn't see that, did I?
No, I was laughing because I didn't hear what your question was. I heard punters, and I was like, punters, like,
hey, James.
Yeah.
Hey James, what punters do you look at in the NFL? Do you like watch their craft and try to learn by?
All the Aussies, because like I feel American punters are like very different to Australian punters for different reasons. They're all very good in the NFL. Obviously, they wouldn't be there otherwise. But I like watching like Mitch Wisnowski, Aaron Zipos, Michael Dixon, just all those guys. We all punt a little bit differently. We all like adjust our ball drop to how like our leg swing comes through. I feel like most Americans are very robotic with their leg swing and their drop and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say OGs?
Pardon?
Did you say OGs? You watch the OGs?
No, the Aussies.
Oh, okay. The Aussies. I thought you said OGs. I'm like, that boy black. Let's look at him. He's like, name already, James. That's okay. All right.
Marvin, pick up where Steve left off, please, sir. What you got for this young man?
All right, James. So here's the thing about it. So when I was in school, one of the things that I like to do at the practice was I spent a lot of time with the punters. I found it fascinating because it was so much a part of my job, but not part of my job, but it impacted my job. So I spent a lot of time with them. And what is the biggest difference between punting the ball, say from your 20, when you can punt it with no worries, versus punting it from the 50 and you have to get it to drop or potentially put a backspin on it?
I like both punts because like obviously I get to do a lot of both at the moment. So when I'm like backed up and I have like the whole field to work with, I love it because I can just let my leg come through as fast as I want and kick it as hard as I want, and the ball is just going to fly off my boot. So that's always fun, being able to have the whole field to work with. But then when you have the ball on the 50 or the plus side of the 50, and I'm like, I can pin their offense in like the 5 or like the 10 or something like that. That's like, it's like a challenge for me, just like see how far like I can get that ball close to the goal line without it going over. But like, I feel like the only difference is like I always do the Aussie ones, so like the backspins. I just try to get that, hang it up a little bit and get my gunners to get down there and catch it. And that's our objective. But at the same time, if they want me to, I try and just like snipe the corner, and I'm pretty good at doing that as well. So.
All right. And has Coach Saban ever chewed you out for punting the ball in the end zone instead of pinning them?
Yeah, there was one time last year I think we're playing A&M at home. So I caught the snap. We're probably on like, I still don't understand a lot of the field references, but I think we're like the 50's here. I'm on the 45 year, our goal line's over here. So we're on, I think, the negative 45 or something. And I was like, I got to put a little bit into this. It's like a 55-yard punt to the end zone. And like my Aussies don't go as far as my spiral, so like it swung hard through it, and I just somehow hit the sweet spot of it, and it went about 5 or 6 yards deep in the end zone. I was like, damn, like I don't know how I did that. And I came off the field and said, what are you doing? You need to give us a better option. Like you need to get us like on the field so they can at least catch the ball. Or like, and I'm like, yes, sir. Like, sorry, it won't happen again.
That's it. I figured it would have been worse than that.
I left a little bit out of it. Got to milk it a little bit.
But you can see his body language from Saban get to him, man.
I want to hear the whole story.
Saban's powerful, man.
Hey, man, you're clearly great at what you do, man. We really appreciate you. Real talk. You're doing your thing.
I appreciate it.
So
I mean, but out of respect, it does take Saban a while to really get into chewing somebody out. Like Saban got to really walk on the field and then come grab you and then pull you off the field.
Yeah, no, I haven't had the worst looking. Like I've seen some bad ones from other players, but
tell us about it.
Do my job as good as I can.
Tell us about it.
Hold on. I have a question for you. How nerve-wracking is it holding on field goals? Because like that's like the most. high pressure job ever, because if you bobble the snap, you throw the timing off, you can disrupt that entire process. That's one job I said I never wanted any parts in.
No, I love it. Like I've always loved pressure. I've always been like a pressure guy. And then Neil makes my job a lot easier. So he always put the ball in the right spot. So it's easy for me to put it down and get the laces forward for Will. But every time as a punter, especially at Alabama, I could see the field 2-3 times a game. So I try to get on the field as much times as I can. And we normally scoring a lot. So yeah, that gets me on the field a bit more.
So what do they mean by laces forward? Because the footballs I played with, they had Velcro, and I'm just trying to see.
Hey, James, Steve Brown was a holder, but he couldn't catch, so he was third string.
Don't laugh at that, James. Don't laugh at that. You won't be invited back. Don't laugh at that.
No, I'm not laughing at that. But the laces forward means just like the laces pointing towards like the field goal. So like the kicker has more of a sweet spot to hit, and he's not hitting the laces, which affects the way the ball flies.
Gotcha.
Hey, James, we got a question for you from the audience from MFR Jones. I got a question for James. If you had the chance to hit someone on the opposing team on the return, would you talk trash to them after? That was something Riker did one game.
For me, like I probably would in the moment, just because like I'll just be like juiced up for making a hit. But if I'm making the hit, that means my punt's either really bad, the coverage was really bad, and they're getting a big return on me. So I don't want that. So I don't really want to be making that hit. But if I did make a hit, especially if I put him down, I'll definitely talk some smack to him.
Now I got one for you though. This is one thing that used to drive me crazy when a punter would outkick the coverage. How do you deal with that when you outkick your coverage?
Well, I'm lucky. I got really good coverage team. So my whole coverage team is like very fast. I got Kendrick Blackshire as my gunner, Terry on as a gunner, and E-Man was another starting gunner, but he's out at the moment. So those guys can run 22, 23 miles per hour. So if I'm putting the ball up with 4.7 hang time and I'm kicking it 56 yards, they're going to be down there with half a second to spare each time. So those guys, and then if they get hemmed up at the line, then my main box of guards and tackles, and even Neil, he gets down there and makes a return away to the air. So that's always nice to see.
Sound like you've been using AWS for your calculations.
No.
Well, Lance.
Well, James, before we let you go, I do want to ask what your goals are, for the rest of the year. Of course, national championship, that's on the top of the list. But for you personally, what's your goals? How do you want to be remembered by Alabama fans when it's all said and done?
I want to be remembered as the best punter to come through here. Obviously, JK is very, very elite competition to go through with. But personally, this year I want to win the Ray Guy. I feel like I got the best chance to win it right now. I'm in a good position for it, so I'll just keep going with that and just doing everything I can to help our team win and trying to stay out of coaches' bad books and keep the defense and keep the offense in a good spot on the field.
You're definitely doing it, brother. You're definitely doing it.
Yes, sir.
And we greatly appreciate you. Before you head out, if you would, tell the fans how they can find you on social media, because you got plenty of them. So let them know where they can find you.
Yes, sir. So Instagram's James.Burnett. And then on my Twitter is JamesBurnett3. And those are the only two social medias I use.
Okay, I got that. I'm gonna send you some pictures of the Stacey Adams that I want you to wear in the next game.
Okay, I got you. I'll put them on.
See?
Sweet. Well, James, we greatly appreciate it, man. Please go out and do your thing Saturday on the road against Mississippi State. Don't let them advance the field. We appreciate you, brother.
You cannot lose in Starkville. Starkville, Mississippi is worse than a truck stop bathroom. You cannot lose in Starkville, man.
Here we go.
No, we got it.
Yes, sir. Thanks again, buddy. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Roll Tide.
That guy likes me. He really likes me.
Man, how could they not? You're the star, right?
Likes you.
He likes me.
All right, guys, it's time to turn our eyes to Mississippi State before we wrap things up. I want to get your thoughts, your feelings on this game and how important it is. What do you need to see from this group after a big win? More importantly, can we keep up the rate of play that we saw Saturday? Mississippi State struggles are apparent. They're losing the battle on fourth down, time of possession, and they've given up way too many passing yards. And opponents are nearly flawless in the red zone. Their defense is leaking all over the place. Matter of fact, coming into the game this past Saturday, South Carolina had arguably the worst running attack in the entire SEC, and they managed to put 144 on them. The way I see it is, it's time for Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams to eat. Steve Brown, talk to us about this game, what you need to see. Give me a score and a player of the game, then we'll go to Bo, Stephen and Smith, and Marvin.
What I need to see, I can't give you one individual player. I just need to see steady improvement, and just continue the trend. I mean, I'm talking about the offensive, defensive, special teams, and the attitude. That's what I want to see. I can't give you a player of the game, of course. Like I'm high on Terrion Arnold, and I'm glad that Blackshire is playing well. And I'm just excited about seeing the growth. So I think I'll just say 28-3 or more.
Okay. Bo?
Is it Jim?
I see we coming back together as one. So I would like to see this defense play how we've been playing for the past, not these couple years, but the years before that. Stopping the run, breaking up passes, and I expect for the run game to be there as well. I expect for these guys to have a great night running the ball. So I'm excited to see that.
Most definitely. Stephen Smith, I want to hear your assessment. The Bulldogs are kind of funny this year. They decided to change their identity at the beginning of season. Coach Arnett wanted to make it ground and pound like Mississippi State of old, but the problem is they have air raid personnel, so it hasn't really worked out too well for them. So they scratched that and have gone back to the air raid. They seem to be having an identity problem, but what problems do you see from Will Rogers, who is still that dude, and then the hot receiver in the SEC, Ladietrich Griffin? How do you see this playing out? Give me a score when you're player of the game.
Well, we always know State is a team that plays Alabama tough. They've always been that way. Whether they have good players, not so talented players, State always plays Alabama tough. So the one thing I want to see is the continuation of the second half that Bama played against Ole Miss, a continuation of that. Defense being physical, offense, Tommy Reese continuing to grow as a coordinator, Jalen Milroe doing his thing out there. As far as a player of the game is concerned, defensively, I think this could really be a game for Chris Braswell. Mm-hmm. Dallas Turner's cooking. He's cooking. And with Dallas cooking, here comes Braswell. This could be a huge game for Chris Braswell on the opposite side of Dallas Turner. So I'm going to go Chris Braswell defensively. Offensively, I'm going to say this. I think Alabama's starting to kind of find that next receiver. Keep your eyes on Jalen Hale. Mm-hmm. He had a game against Ole Miss, 2 catches, 63 yards, did something there. He is starting to pass up some guys a bit there on that wide receiver room. So keep your eyes on that kid. Got complimented by Saban. Milroe seems to really like him. Malachi Moore seems to really like him. We've already seen one receiver from Texas be special. That was when Jalen Waddle came through here. Mm-hmm. So here comes Jalen Hale from Longview, Texas. Keep your eyes on that kid.
Coach Saban said, make me play you when he was talking about the quarterbacks, but I can't help but think that he issued the same challenge to other positions, and Jalen Hale took that seriously. We saw what he did Saturday. Maybe it's a preview of what's to come. I love how he high points that ball. I don't think anybody can challenge him. If you look closely, guys, he reminds me of a young DJ Hall.
You know something, though, Justin? I will say this. What's his name? Number 3. He's giving us. We're all eating crow behind. Burton is playing his tail off, and we're eating crow because I am, because I wasn't up on him, but he's showing us that he is a leader, and I'm appreciating everything about that.
Marvin Constant, you have the last voice in all of this. What do you see? How do you feel going into Mississippi State? And give us your score and player of the game. And are you betting on this one?
First and foremost, hell yeah, I've already placed the bet. That's a given. Listen, man, first and foremost, you cannot lose to a team from the state of Mississippi. We've already taken care of one. Now we have to take care of the other. The state of Mississippi is the armpit of the United States. can't lose to them. Okay,
Still
they're
here,
like,
sir. Still here.
They're like that yellow. They're like that yellow stain in your armpit on your white T-shirt. That's the state of Mississippi. We cannot lose to them. So, in order for this to happen, we need to see the defense continue to take those steps. I want to see this defense in mid-season form by the end of this game because we know what's coming over the next few weeks. So I think the score is going to be 38-10. Play of the game. I'm going back with my guy, Dallas Turner. Dallas, keep doing what you do, Dallas.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Is for me, Spencer Rattler exposed Mississippi State's defense over the middle this past Saturday. Alabama's speed at wide receiver and athleticism at tight end could spell trouble for those linebackers and safeties. So my play of the game is going to be Amari Nablack. Alabama wins 28-7. All right, folks, it's time to close up shop. As we always do, we go around the room. We pop what we got going on. To lead us off, as always, is Marvin Constant. Tell us about 40 Plus Strong, where they can find you on social media.
40P!
Well, Roll Tide said that they started reading the book, Physical and Mental Fitness at 40 Plus, which you can find that on my Instagram, Constant45. So if you're looking for a workout program, late 30s, 40s, 50s, something to help you, get back in shape, not anything that's going to require heavy lifting, anything that's going to put you in a compromising position. I've had over 10 surgeries, so I can't go in the gym and do nothing crazy, but it's a great resource to help you get there. And we still holding, baby.
Matter of fact, let's go into detail here. Roll Tide said, start reading Marvin Constant's book, Physical and Mental Fitness at 40 Plus. This is a testimonial, guys. But had to stop because I kept getting women pregnant just by looking at them and whipping the ass of any man smarting off. Damn, Marvin, you should have put a warning.
Marvin don't tell you his book is packed with steroids. Go ahead.
Hey, you see him? You see the cuts? Yeah. But no, it's a great resource again. And it's 3 different workout programs in there, whether you're a beginner, you in middle of the road, or you've been doing it a while and you're looking for a challenge. And it's designed so that you can write in and track your progress along the way. 3 different 6-week workout programs, 18 weeks worth of workouts, $15. Best $15 you'll ever spend. I don't make a lot of money. Amazon make most of the money. I just did it as a resource.
Dang, Marvin, the Miller's Edge say arms looking small there, Marvin. So
I know y'all want these. Yeah.
We got Christian and Corey Miller throwing some shade. Everybody tune in to the Miller's Edge. You can find them on YouTube and Tide 100.9. Steve Brown, talk to the folks. What you got coming up next? How they can find you? You'll be in Atlanta this weekend, right?
I'll be in Atlanta this weekend. Party people, you can find me, of course, on the Bama Standard. You can find me, of course, on Instagram, Comic Steve Brown, one word, and my fan page on Facebook, Comedian Steve Brown. But Atlanta is the place this weekend. Of course, Blake Sims stopping through. Marv, you ought to come on through too, man. I got you. So, yeah, the Uptown Comedy Corner, tickets are selling really fast. I'm excited. So, if you're a Bama fan and you're in the Atlanta area, come on through. We're going to make it happen.
No doubt, no doubt. Coach Mook, Steve needs to come to West Virginia. Or Richmond, Virginia, sorry. I don't know how I got
I'll be there. I'm coming. Thank you for the invite. I'll be there. Trust me.
We may have somebody all the way from Australia. Hi from Australia. Don't forget to check out the Australian Rules Grand Final on Saturday. Collingwood versus Brisbane. 100,000 fans will be there. Bo, what you got, man? How can they find you on social media? And then what's your son's social?
Bo Scarborough for my social media. For our social media, he ain't got no social media yet.
I was about to say.
And same thing for me, man. I'm still working on the same thing with the merch and everything.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, Stephen M. Smith.
He's trying to break a tackle. He's trying to break a tackle right there. Okay. But as for me here, we're getting everybody set for Bama, Mississippi State. On their own words, Battle of Highway 82. We're getting the people ready for it. The people are still answering questions about the Ole Miss game and the way the guys went out there and played, but we've now trended to Mississippi State and getting everybody ready for this matchup right here against the Bulldogs. I will be in Starkville for this, so I will try to get my earplugs so the cowbells do not affect me.
Internet connection.
I would rather sit in a truck stop bathroom than go to Starbucks.
Hey, Justin, please read that last comment. Please read it.
I will. Crimson Kings 199 so eloquently put. Marvin aesthetic as hell. Savage at the age of 90.
You see it though. Hey, well, we still gunned up, cut up, baby. Listen, I'm just saying what you want me to do. Fall off ain't gonna happen.
Oh, got a question for Bo real quick before we wrap things up. Keith Hitchcock, Bo, are the Tennessee shirts ready yet? You're on mute, sir.
I got a meeting tomorrow about the t-shirts, so it'll probably be sometime this week.
Oh, also, yeah, my Stacey Adams shirts will be coming out soon. Yeah, grab one. No,
They'll be available on our gift shop. Stay tuned for that. But anyway, guys, it was a great night. Shout out to Blake Sims, who left early. Shout out also to our guy, James Burnett, the career punter for the University of Alabama, number 86 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Y'all stay tuned to this channel. Everybody, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, the final whistle tonight. And then tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, Crimson Dynasty with C. She Payne. Keep plugged into this channel. It's the best one going for all of us here at the Bama Standard. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.